Hello and welcome to Helen's Britain Uncovered. I'm Helen, and on this channel we talk about the Britain you actually lived in. Not the one in the history books, the real one. Cast your mind back. Summer 1976. Britain's hottest summer on record. Every Lido in the country was packed. Not a diet in sight, not a calorie counted, no gym membership, no fitness app. Just Britain getting on with it. You remember the roller disco on a Friday night, 20 pence to get in, the youth club on a Wednesday, the Lido on a Saturday afternoon. You were moving every single day, not because anyone told you to, because that was just life. Going out cost almost nothing, and going out meant moving, swimming, skating, dancing, riding your bike down the street until your mum called you in. That was childhood. That was Britain. And that movement, that daily, ordinary movement, kept the whole country slim, without anyone even trying. Today, 2 out of 3 adults in Britain are overweight. That did not happen by accident. Something changed. 3 things changed, actually, and none of them happened overnight. Start in the kitchen. There was no microwave. No freezer full of ready meals. Mum was at the stove, every night, peeling potatoes, chopping carrots, making something from nothing. Sunday was the roast, some meat and a mountain of vegetables, whatever was in season. Monday it became shepherd's pie. Tuesday, a hash. Not a scrap wasted. Breakfast was porridge. Lunch was at a set time. Tea was on the table when Dad got home. That was it. No snacking between meals. No crisps on the way home from school. You ate your meal, you got on with your day. But here is the thing nobody talks about. The real reason Britain stayed slim was not just the food. It was the movement that went with it. You walked to the butcher. You walked to the baker. You carried heavy bags home every day. Not once a week to a car park, every single day. The kids walked to school and children walked to school and back. 2 miles a day. We didn't complain. It was just a normal part of life in the 1970s. The supermarket changed everything. One big building on the edge of town. You drove there. You filled a trolley. You drove home. The weekly shop replaced the daily walk. The butcher closed. The baker shut up shop. The greengrocer, the fishmonger, the hardware shop. One by one, the high street went quiet. And with it went the walking, the carrying, the stopping for a chat. The daily rhythm that had kept, but the supermarket was only part of it. The bigger change was happening at work. And this one really did catch Britain completely off guard. Britain worked hard. Proper physical work. Factory floors, coal mines, docks, building sites. Men came home exhausted because they had genuinely used their bodies all day. And at home, Mum was on her feet too, cooking from scratch, cleaning without all the gadgets we have now. Cold houses meant your body burned calories just keeping warm. A whole nation moving without thinking about it. Then the 1980s arrived. The factories closed. The mines shut. The docks fell quiet. Dad sat down at a desk, stared at a screen all day, and came home far less tired than his father ever had. And Mum went back to work too, which was brilliant in so many ways, but it meant nobody had time to cook from scratch every night. And right at that moment, as if someone had planned it, fast food arrived in Britain. McDonald's, Burger King, wimpy bars on every high street. Hot food, instant, no effort, bigger portions, more sugar, more fat. And a nation that had stopped moving, sitting at desks, driving to supermarkets, watching telly in the evenings, was now eating more than it ever had. the weight crept on. Slowly at first, then faster. And nobody saw it coming because nobody was looking. The 1970s gave Britain something it did not know it had. A way of living that kept everyone slim, without trying, without thinking about it, without a single diet book or gym membership. And then it was gone. And what replaced it? Well, that is a story that somebody should have told Britain a long time ago. Who made those decisions? Why did it happen so fast? And could we ever get it back? That is what part 2 is about. If you want to know, subscribe now, because that story is coming. And I think it will surprise you. If you were there, leave a memory in the comments. What do you remember most about the 70s? I read every single comment. Subscribe for part 2. See you soon.